guys? Welcome back to another episode of Netfish and Chill TV. As you can see, a little bit different setting for today's video. I'm going to be unboxing these two Lucky Tackle boxes, but it's going to be a little bit different than normal Lucky Tackle box unboxing. As you guys can see, or maybe can't see it, I'll move these out of the way. I have a tank here set up. It has some rocks, a big rock, and a piece of wood in there. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the baits. What I'm going to be doing is using the baits and showing you how it looks in the water. So it's going to be a little bit different. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. So it's not just me talking about the baits. It's like, you know, how the baits actually look in the water. Sometimes it may be a little bit hard. Like if I have like a crankbait, like a moving bait like that, it's going to be kind of hard to use the baits since it's a very small tank. But I thought it'd be cool for demonstrative purposes. If you guys enjoyed today's video, thanks for watching, and be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, so there you go. There's a close-up view of the tank. As you can see, I have a little rock here. I have some wood right here, and I have some little pebbles right here. We're going to start off with the August box. So, in the August box, the first bait on the bait card is the BD series shad. Okay, so here's what the BD shad looks like in the water. Pretty decent, like, action. Now, like I said, this is not going to be, like, ideal for what it's going to be looking like. So, it's, the cool thing, like, I'm going to be going over, like, my thoughts on the baits, like I always do. The cool thing about this is, as you can see, the bottom hook, I don't know if you can see or not, the bottom hook is stuck to the bottom because it is magnetized, and so basically so that you can bring it over stuff and not get it snagged. So as you can see, it's moving over the little pebbles really easily because, as you can see, that last treble hook just got snagged on one of the rocks, and it's gonna mess with your action. But because that front hook attracted to the metal inside the body, it doesn't get snagged. So all you really have to worry about is that back hook. So I think that's a cool feature. The tail is made of hair, so that's kind of different. It's gonna make a better swimming action. Nice bait. It's got a nice rattle in it. Super cool bait. The value of this BD shad is $20, so it's worth a lot of money. Really nice swim bait from Boyd Duckett, and already you are way above what you paid for the box. So next up on the bait card is the Chasing Trophy Fish stick bait. And when I heard stick bait, I was looking for like a Senko style bait, and it's actually a jerk bait. It's a suspending, but it's also a floating, so it's kind of like a half and half kind of deal. Got some really nice rattles. They're not like super loud, but they're not like super low key either. You guys watch the LTB channel. Travis Moran really did enjoy this bait, and I can see why. It's definitely a really nice little bait. Super realistic, and the package says as real as it gets. So it is super realistic, super nice bait. It's not like super light, but it's not super heavy either. It's a slow floater, so, but it's also suspends at the same time. So I don't know. It's like a half and half, kind of like the best of both worlds almost. This bait retails for $7.50, so already you're at $27.50 for the box value, and I only paid $15, so that's a super good deal. Alrighty, so next up on the bait card was the Cabin Creek's buoy worm, and definitely a little drop shot bait. So as you guys can see, it floats, which is where it gets the name buoy worm from. So definitely not something you'd wacky rig. Plus it has that defining drop shot kind of like tail to it. So definitely something you're gonna want to use in deeper water, because at the rate this thing is floating, it's like as you can see, the tail is sticking out of the water, and this is probably close to a foot of water in this tank. So definitely something you're going to want to use in deep water. It's a really nice color. It's like a green pumpkin magic. Got a little bit of blue and orange and gold in there. Super nice bait though. It's got a nice scent to it. Yeah, I really like the bait. Super nice bait. I'm looking to build my drop shot arsenal bait wise, because I don't really use a lot of drop shots. But now that I'm smallmouth fishing a lot more, it's probably good that I get good at using a drop shot. So this is definitely a really nice bait. I've heard a lot about these. This is not one of those baits that like is like a first time, like isn't even on Tackle Warehouse yet. Like this, I've heard a lot about this worm, and it's a super nice worm, super finesse. So for a 5-pack, it is $5.79. So you're already like at $30+. Okay, so as always, Lucky Tackle Box includes some Mustad hooks, and right here we have the Mustad KVD triple grip short shank hooks. So let me just get one out for you guys. There you go. It's a red treble hook, pretty nice size. It's very wide, so I imagine that's probably not going to miss too many fish because of how count. And the value is $4.99, so we're already looking close to $40 box value. That's insane. Finally, we have the Vicious Baits Tubby Tube. It's not going to look right simply because I don't have the right jig head. I am currently out of tube jig heads, so it's not going to float like or sink like it normally would, because the jig usually goes to the head, and yeah, I just don't have the right jig heads for this tube. But super nice tube. They're really nice size. Definitely not like a super small tube. Definitely gonna be a tube you want to use when you're targeting bigger bass. Super salty. That's the one thing I noticed that really caught my attention about this bait, is it's super salty. So, I mean, like Senkos are salty, but I mean this is like unreal. Like my hands are like caked in salt from this bait. So, you know, it's going to leave like that salt trail in the water for the fish to key in on it. I think it's a 5-pack. Yeah, 4 inches 5-pack. That retails for $4 or $3.99, whatever you want to chalk that up to. So, this box was super awesome. Really great baits. Like I said, that was the August box. Now I'm going to get on to the September box, because it is September. So that is the Vicious Baits Tubby Tube, and it is oh, I almost forgot the best part of the box. Okay, so the first thing I noticed about this month's Fish Hound magazine is it is what's in the box. The magazine is actually your guide to what's in the box. Alrighty, so first up in the box is the Lunker Hunt Hatch Spin. This is a beast of a bait. This is a full ounce bait. So it's super heavy. It's going to be ideal for deep water because it sinks so quickly. I'm going to just go ahead and just drop it. I mean, just like that. It just sinks to the bottom. It's, like I said, it's an ounce, super heavy. I'd say this is probably ideal for deep water. Bring those fish out of the deep. As you guys can see, the flash off of the tail is amazing off of that willow blade. I mean, you could definitely like jig this off of rocks. You know, it doesn't get snagged very easily, which is kind of surprising since it's a 1 ounce bait. These things go for $6.99. I might actually have to pick up a couple of these because these are awesome. This is a super nice bait, super realistic too. Lunker Hunt really put their time into this bait, and it's a super nice bait. It's a single treble bait, so it has, you know, it's not going to get snagged as much as like a double treble would. So super nice bait. I'm really in love with this bait. Probably the coolest bait in the box. I mean, alrighty. So next up in the box is the Biwa Prism Worm. So let's go ahead and drop this in the water here. The first thing I thought when I saw this worm instantly was Nico Rig. So this worm has a super fat head design, and it's definitely going to be something that you're going to want to use with as a Nico rig. Okay, so there it is. It's a wacky rig. This color is black and blue. It kind of looks like green pumpkin in the water, so it might be just a super dark green pumpkin. Very clearly, this has a little bit of wobble. Like I said, it's not as defined as like the Gary Yamamoto Senko is. 4.8 inches long, so not too big, not too small. It's like the perfect size. Super nice bait. Really like these type baits. Anything stick bait, Senko style, I get a lot of use out of. Definitely gonna like this bait. That retails for $6, and it's a 5-count pack. So the next thing in the box is the Mustad Big Mouth Special Pack. I don't really know why they included the swivel, but you know, hey, that's great. If you're taking a little kid fishing and they want to switch baits constantly, you know, fantastic. You have 2 swivels now. The hook and swivel 2-pack goes for $5. Alrighty, so next up is a very different bait. This is the Custom Lures Unlimited Zero Gravity Jig. Now, this jig feels like it's not even there. Definitely a nice shad presentation, nice shad color. Definitely because it floats so it like sinks really weird. It definitely would be a good fall bait because it imitates it like a dying shad. Mixed feelings about it. I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. I like it because it definitely represents as a good representation of like a dying shad. But it's so light, like it doesn't even feel like it's there. But it's just, I don't know if I personally like it. That retails for $5. So let's get on to the final bait in this month's box. The final bait in this month's box is the Lake Lunkers Flipping Frog. So, like I said, that Mustad hook I said would probably be a pretty good flipping hook. That's probably why it's in this month's box, because this is called the Flipping Frog. So this is not like your traditional buzz toad that you bring along the surface and it goes like a buzz bait. This has the profile of a flipping bait. I've never heard of flipping a frog other than like a hollow body frog, like flipping it in and then bringing it back. But this is totally different. This is a flipping style bait with a frog profile. Who knows? This may be like the next great fish catching tactic. You never know. Honestly, it also kind of looks like a crawl. So I mean, if you wanted to put this on a jig head, this probably would work in an area with a lot of crawls. Really pleased with the last 2 months box and we'll call this video a wrap.